Hello, welcome back to another part of Higurashi When They Cry, and I'm with Watton. Yeah, I can do intros, as you can certainly tell by, everything. So last time I had the feeling that something big was going to happen, so let's see what's going to creep me out this time. Yay. It was hard to say that Rena didn't have a chance to determine if my parents were here or not. Like, the whole needle of Mochi was terrible enough. I wonder if they've got prepared this time. But there was no reason for me to confess that right now. I should try holding on to that fact as long as I could. First of all, the chain was still latched. As long as I didn't take it off, Rena wouldn't be able to do anything to me, unless she has bolt cutters. Okay, her fading from like the black background with that smile was just really creepy to me for a second. Just gonna put that out there. せっかくで申し訳ないんだけどさ、Unable to think of a good way to refuse, my words trailed off weakly.
でも、ちょっとはおかずになると思うな。
悪いけど、間に合ってるよ。うちのお袋ってさ、結構おかずをいっぱい作るんだよ。だから。
You are sounding slightly creeped out and anxious.
おかずあるの?
Yeah, he has side dishes for his cup noodles. With a smile that bordered on a cringe, I dodged her questions apologetically. But the feeling I tried to ignore began creeping up on my back again. I spoke as if my mum was setting down dinner right now, but it didn't mesh well with what Rena was saying. Rena was talking as if she was aware of some obvious fact, and that I was aware of it as well.
ケイチ君もおかずとか作れるんだね。何を作ったのかな。
いや、別に俺が。
Is this what's going to set her off? Rena had assumed out of nowhere that I had made the dishes. No, not so much that I had made them, but rather my mum hadn't.
本当に作ったの？おかず。ケイチ君が？
だから、俺が作ったんじゃないよ。お袋が作った。いや、作ってるんだよ。今。だからさ、悪いけど、レナの持ってきてくれたのは食べられないんだよ。
Rena fell silent at that moment. In that moment, I felt that the light had suddenly disappeared from her eyes. Oh dear.
ケイチ君のお夕飯、当ててみようか?
Okay, that felt a bit better than what I was expecting. You said that the light disappeared, but that still looks... okay.
なんだっていいじゃないか。
ね。
Okay, I'm getting a bit creeped out now. The conversation might appear natural at first, but Ren was firmly in control. It felt like I was being interrogated.
そのお夕飯、お湯だけで作れるんじゃないかな。
Not... that's oddly specific. Like, you didn't say, like something that can be made easily and quickly. You very specifically said with hot water.
おいおい、侮るなよ。うちのお袋のスペシャルなディナーを見くびるなってんだ。そりゃもう満願全席状態ですごいのなんの。
I tried my best to put on a strong front, but I couldn't grip my teeth quite right. So instead I looked like someone who was borderline hysterical. But Rena showed no reaction whatsoever, even to that silliness.
ケイチ君、本当にお母さん、ご飯作ってってくれたの？
Leave me dinner? He 100% knows.
いや、だから、くれたんじゃなくて、今作ってるんだよ。もうすぐ晩飯に。
Good day, Slam. Rena had taken that assertion of mine that my mother was home and making dinner right now, and was completely ignoring it. I could tell that the more I panicked, the colder Rena became. Also, the more lies you tell, and so the colder Rena becomes.
ねえ、ケイチ君。
Okay, your voice is awfully close. At that moment, an uncomfortable chill crept in from the gap in the doorway.
お母さん、お家にいるのかなかな。
What do you mean? I couldn't keep up this charade anymore. Rena. She knew full well that my parents weren't home. But I'd come too far to admit that now. Anyway, my parents were here and we'd be having dinner soon. That was the situation I'd concocted. So I answered. I told her she was here.
いるよ。もちろん。
I could feel the humidity drying out from the surrounding air. Rena's eyes were becoming a bit more frigid, even more frigid, piercing me with their gelid glare.
どうして？
Sudden music change.
何のことかな。
I tried acting casual, but that facade was torn off me the instant I looked into Rena's eyes. Yep. That look. It informed me of Rena's response faster than she could open her mouth.
どうしてさっきから嘘をつくのかな？かな。
Okay, creepy. I think the last time someone looked through was, Mion. Don't think Rena's looked through like that with that smile.
嘘なんか。
嘘だよね。
嘘なんかじゃ。
嘘だよ。
Rena's outburst sent a jolt surging through my body. Rena and I were still separated by what few inches that's slightly ajar, but still chained door could afford. But despite that, I was still being cornered. My house, which I'd considered a safe haven up until now, had become more like a dark alley where no one could save me.
ケイチ君のお夕飯当てるよ。ね。
I knew now that Rena had already known that my parents would not be here tonight. But it was still so strange that it had come to this. Yeah, maybe like my parents had told some villagers or something. Even if she somehow knew that my parents went home, there was no way she should be able to guess what I'd be eating tonight. But Rena said she'd guess. How could she guess it? How could she know it was
カップ
instant?
ラーメン当たりでしょ？
I don't think I clicked that. That was, okay, slightly creepy there, in real life. Because I'm pretty sure I didn't click that last line. I was like, yeah, how could you know it was instant when she started talking? Anyway, that I was going to eat. Wait, the cooking repertoire of a man who can't do housework is probably nothing but cup noodles after all. Looking at this statistically, it was the most probable answer. That didn't mean she was guessing.
ラーメンだけじゃきっとお腹すくと思うな。ご飯とかも一緒の方がきっと腹持ちいいと思うよ。
Calm down, Keiichi Maibara. This was just coincidence. Rena was just reading certain tales of mine. So the fact that she was inferring what I was thinking about alarmed me. But it wasn't as if she was actually reading my mind. If it was being read, then she was a demon. No, not a demon. Things like that. They couldn't possibly exist. How else do you describe this face?
好きなの？
ラーメンがかよ。
豚骨生姜味。
Tonkatsu? Soju... That's probably the flavor, I'm guessing? I've ever censored it out for some reason. Rena indicated with the point my answer was addressing was wrong. Her rebuttal was so short that I momentarily didn't understand the words Rena had spoken. Ah, but I did.
ごめん、レナ。今、なんて。
え？何が？
今さ、何が好きって聞いたんだよ。
It wasn't long before I regretted how carelessly I pushed forward with that question. It was such a simple answer. That's why I wasn't able to comprehend it.
豚骨生姜味。
豚骨生姜味. Okay. Yeah. I wondered how I appeared in the moments my mind went completely blank, until the moment I was able to recover. As my field of view began to distort, slowly swirling in a counterclockwise direction, I lost all sense of balance.
なんでそこまでわかるんだよ!
I didn't even deny it. That was the type of frenzied state I was in. How could Rena know even this? Not even caring as I mashed my head up against the wall, I fixated my gaze on Rena. But she didn't even flinch when she saw me do that.
確かに勝った。まとめて勝った。
I mean, if it's in the town, like you were saying, like at the beginning, it's like word would get out and all. Maybe at some point to another villager, it would probably be easy to, like, she was asking another villager, what does he like? It's like, I want to make something for him, like, what did he buy, kind of thing. And I would go, oh, how cute, Rena. Here, let me help you out. He bought this. Remember him doing that? Yeah.
俺が箱買いした。それがどうしてわかるんだ。
なんでかな。不思議だね。
It's a bit, yes.
だね。
Okay, it's more creepy when you say it like that. How could you dodge the question at a time like this? The chain and doors suddenly were no longer protecting me.
どうしてわかる？なぜ知ってる？答えろ！
買ったのはセブンスマート。
Again, if you had a friend who told you that.
だよね。
A shiver ran up my spine. Okay, then again, oops. To be fair, I don't know where 7th Mart is, if it's in the village or not. It might not be. I tried covering it up with an angry facade.
だから、なんでわかるんだよ！
圭一君の後ろ、ずっとくっついてたから。
Okay, that's a bit more creepy.
何を言ってんだよ。
They do a good job with their sounds. I couldn't understand why she was saying she'd been following me all this time.
だから、
I love you.
レナが圭一君の後ろに。
Also creepy how you talk about yourself in the third person right there. As if you're not really Rena.
ずっとくっついてたの。
That laugh's creepy. Like that night? That night I was absorbed in my phone conversation with Oishi-san. I didn't even sense her being there, standing behind the door. Behind me. Standing there, just like that?
圭一君がいろんなラーメン選んでるとこ、後ろからずっと見てたの。いろんな種類を選んでたんだよね。それでお母さんに怒られたの。
Okay, that's a bit more than like a friend would be able to tell you.
高いラーメンばっかり選ぶから一種類にしなさいって。
Okay.
それで圭一くん大好きな大きいカップの豚骨生姜味を選んだんだよね。レナも好きだよ、豚骨ラーメン。でも大きいカップは全部食べきれないけどね。
My brain was paralyzed, dulling my senses. It might have been a defensive mechanism to diminish the fear I was feeling to non-traumatizing levels. With the fear being diminished, the fog enveloping my mind was cleared away. Then, I could understand what Rena was saying and started to put meaning behind her words. Even so, my fear hadn't subsided completely. It was like I was standing at the edge of the cliff, eyes closed so I didn't have to look down. It didn't actually solve any of the basic problems. I slowly took a step backwards, and as I withdrew, Renner advanced.
だからケイチ君、ここを開けて。レナと一緒にご飯食べよう。きっと美味しいから。ね。
I mean, you're creepy than the yandere, maybe? That's different from the yandere, I feel. Renna's pale, slender fingers squirmed through the crack of the door, one at a time, as if they had a mind of their own, rattling the chain. If she had unlatched the chain from the door, a feeling of terror would have just exploded within me. But Renna didn't do that. She was simply imploring me to remove the chain. I tried my hardest to light the fuse to the powder keg in my heart, trying again and again. Clatter, clatter. But it doesn't light. It doesn't light. Too much fear. Douse your powder.
開けて。
Nope.
ケイチ君。
Nope. Please don't
帰
start.
ってくれ。
Okay. Please don't start opening the
頼
door.
むから。帰ってくれ。
どうしてそんな意地悪を言うのかな。かな。
帰ってくれ。帰れよ。帰れ。
With that face, it kind of looks like she's the one saying it. But no. The powder keg inside me finally went off. No smouldering, it just exploded. I tackled the door. The force through the door had knocked Renna momentarily off balance. I couldn't hesitate here. I grabbed onto the doorknob with both hands, planted my feet firmly, and pulled with all my might. That slamming sound I'd so desired didn't happen. I could feel a tiny disturbing bit of resistance keeping the door from closing. Did she grab the other handle? The source of that was Renna's fingers. Each of those fingers wriggling, squirming around like the tendrils of a carnivorous plant through the crack in the doorway. No.
痛いよ、ケイチ君。
It wasn't a harsh shriek, but more of a yelp she was trying to keep back. I kept on pulling on the door with all my might. I didn't even realize that if I didn't loosen my pull on the door, at least momentarily, Renna wouldn't be able to pull her fingers out. That was why the door wasn't closing. I mean, if you do loosen it, maybe she'll put her arms through? Like, then open the latch?
本当に痛いの、ケイチ君。悪ふざけが過ぎたなら謝るよ。
That's more than just messing around. That's really creepy of you. I didn't care one bit for her apology. No matter how much she apologized, it didn't change any of what she had done up until now. It didn't change anything.
痛いの。痛いの。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
帰れ。
This hurts me. Renna couldn't leave even if she wanted to because I trapped her fingers. Renna's white fingers had become deep red and were no longer even squirming.
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
帰れ。
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
Renna's apologies were occasionally twisted with pain, but like a broken record, she was intent on repeating it over and over. That's also creepy. Go away, go away, go away! Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it! I pulled on the door even harder. Ugh. Finally, Renna's fingers were somehow able to slip out from their imprisonment in the doorway. The moment that happened, the door closed suddenly, and I could hear the thud of Rena falling on her butt on the other side. I locked the door immediately. It made a loud clunk, voicing my rejection to Rena.
ごめんなさい、ごめんなさい、ごめんなさい、ごめんなさい。圭一くん、ごめんなさい。ここを開けて、圭一くん。
Rena leaned up against the door, apologizing profusely and nothing else. After confirming that I was sufficiently sealed off from her, I trudged away from the entryway. On the other side, I could still hear Rena echoing her apology. I'm sorry. Those pitiful words. They would be forever seeking my forgiveness. I didn't feel bad about this at all. That wasn't out of any sort of malice. I felt sort of hazy sense of relief that I was able to escape from Rena. Before, Mion had threatened me at the doorway, saying there was nothing she didn't know. And just now, at the same place, Rena told me the same thing. My feeble attempts to disguise the fact my parents weren't home had served no purpose from the start. I should have just pretended to be out, and not even opened the door. My meager plans hadn't helped at all. In Hinamizawa, it was impossible to outwit them. Even though I was on the other side of the door, I wanted to get as far away from Rena as possible. One step, two steps. Wow. With each one, her snivelling apologies became more distant. I sprinted up the stairs and dove into my room. As you would expect, I was finally no longer able to hear Rena repeating her endless apology. Diving into my bed, I was startled by the hard lump I felt. There was something in my bed. It's the phone, right? It was the receiver. I finally remembered. I was in the middle of a call with Oishi-san. Looking at the clock, apparently not much time had passed since I went downstairs. Could it be that my clock had run out of batteries? I had talked with Rena for so long. How did almost no time pass? But the hand on the clock was ticking forward 1 second every second as usual. As I put the still warm receiver to my ear, time, which felt frozen, began moving once again.
もしもし、大石さん、お待たせしてすみませんでした。
いえいえ、大してお待ちしていませんよ。
It became apparent that the amount of time that had passed between myself and Oishi-san was different. Over the phone, I could hear an energetic voice from a sports program or something. It drove home just how far away Oishi-san really was.
今、レナが来ました。
遊びに来たんですか?
I wasn't confident that I could coherently explain the situation to Oishi-san. So, she knew my parents weren't here. But I didn't need to right now. Right now, I needed to know about Rena. That's right. I was planning to ask Oishi-san more about Rena, but Rena's little visit had interrupted the conversation. Mention how she followed you to the supermarket and all that. What was true and what was false, I couldn't tell. The one thing I knew was the single grim reality that Rena was suspicious. I might be able to figure something out if I asked Oishi-san about her. Up until now, I'd regretted it whenever I forced myself to ask about things that I was better off not knowing. But, looking at it that way, you could say I'd hit rock bottom. There was no possible way I could feel any more regret than I did right now. No, rather, I wanted to know if there was anything beyond this I would regret more. Forget about tomorrow. It wasn't out of the realm of possibility for something to happen tonight. I wanted to know everything I could. I was absolutely not going to die like this. Not without knowing anything. I definitely won't.
竜宮レナさんのことですか? 調べましたよ。まあ簡単には。
I understood that Oishi-san was talking in circles. A bit meant I dug so deep it would be hard to discuss with you since you're her friend.
その簡単な全てを知りたいんです。
あなたが聞いて面白いような話はありませんよ。
大石さん。
I spoke as calmly as possible to Oishi-san, who was continuing to avoid the issue. And then, I said it.
竜宮レナは怪しいと思っています。過去の事件がたとえお社様のたたりによるものだったにせよ、竜宮レナは関わっています。
レナさんが怪しいと思える具体的な証拠があるのですか？
She followed me? Like she stalked me, kind of? Yeah. She listened in on the phone conversation without coming in and stalked you again there. She put like a needle in your food? Okay, you don't have any proof for any of that. That's fair enough. You know what? Fair point. The manner in which Oishi-san spoke became very firm. Do you have some sort of proof? That was him talking as a detective.
状況証拠だけです。
そうですか。
I could tell, even over the phone, how disappointed Oishi-san was. Pulling on the fishing line when he felt about it, only to reel in the bait. Disappointed, but ready to cast the line once more. That's how it seemed.
大石さん、目に見える証拠がなければ動けないんですか？
What I meant was, you can't come and save me without proof? I stuck that barb in there. As Oishi-san loved roundabout ways of saying things, he understood me just fine.
大丈夫ですよ、前原さん。あなたは私が守ります。
Will you though? That was not the least bit reassuring. Oishi-san was just using me to continue his investigation. I was just going to get killed, and my corpse would be an important piece of evidence. That was all I was to him.
大石さんの捜査は俺の生死と無関係でしょうが、俺は死ねば終わりなんです。
Yeah, people die when they get killed. Oishi-san went silent on the other end of the line. That may have been too blunt, but I didn't care. All I needed to relay to Oishi-san was that I was currently in a very dangerous position.
だから話してください。
And who do you think put you there?
レナのこと。サトシは転校しました。多分俺もそれほど遠くない将来、レナの言う転校をするでしょう。ですが大石さんには俺の死体を見つけることもできないでしょうね。
No, you're probably the one that gets killed and then Reynolds one that goes missing.
現にサトシの死体だってまだ見つけられてない。
前原さん、どうか落ち着いて。
How can you ask me to calm down? I was already suppressing my agitation, even without Oishi-san having to tell me. It wouldn't solve anything if I continued to scream about my mistrust of the police. It seemed that I could only depend on myself and the bats Toshi left behind to protect myself. Then I at least wanted to know about what happened before Rena transferred schools.
つまらない話になるのは覚悟の上ですね。
Oishi-san, realizing my resolve couldn't be swayed, finally caved.
今の俺にとってつまらない話は何一つありません。お願いします。
まずいくつかお断りすることがあります。
はい。
他言無用でお願いします。また内容には一部憶測も含まれているかもしれません。
By part you mean all.
すべてが真実ではないかもしれないということです。
All of it will
よろ
be
しい
true
です
though.
ね。
真実ではないかもしれない。言ってる意味がよくわかりません。
It's not an official investigation.
南沢の連続開始事件は捜査本部がありません。毎年の事件はここに扱われています。ですから竜宮レナが捜査線に浮上したことは一度もないのです。
Considering like how they all fell the same day and seemed to follow the same pattern, they should have at least investigated it. Like even if they went, yep, no, it's just superstition. We probably should have at least investigated it. Right? Like, because it's just too much to be a coincidence, likely. Like, have a look at the p-values. It's probably, like, less than 0.01.
つまりですね、
レナの調査は警察としてでなく個人として行ったということですか？
ご理解いただけて助かります。話のほとんどは電話、もしくは会って聞かせてもらったものばかりです。ですから裏が取れていません。鵜呑みにしないでほしいというご理解いただけますね。
全部聞いた話だけなんですか？
ええ、申し訳ないです。個人調査ですのでね。
あれ、以前レナのカルテを見たって言いませんでしたか？確かにそう聞きましたよ。
Oishi-san paused for a moment on the other end of the line.
そんなことも言いましたかね。気のせいということにしてください。
I didn't care about Oishi-san having certain obligations and responsibilities. I also didn't care if there was no proof. Even if it were just rumors, there's no smoke without fire after all.
話してください、大石さん。
Okay, just one quick thing. I want to hear how he says it.
話してください、大石さん。
Oishi-san. Okay.
わかりました。
Because I noticed, like, earlier, it definitely didn't sound like what I had been saying, but I didn't actually catch what he said. Oishi-san finally opened those tight lips of his. It seemed that Rena lived in Hinamizawa a long time ago. She had moved to Ibaraki Prefecture just before starting elementary school. Then, following that, right after transferring, the unfortunate, incident, with the breaking of the school windows happened. Then Rena confided to the doctor. It was Oyashiro-sama. This was everything I knew.
私が知る話も前原さんと大きくは変わりません。
では、どこを詳しく調べたんですか？
I didn't need to ask. It was the incident right before she transferred back to Hinamizawa.
レナが起こした事件とその後の医者での告白ですね。
はい。
大石さんはその内容を知っているからこそレナたちを疑っているんですね。
ええ、疑っています。
やはりレナたちが犯人。
ああ、いえ、疑うとはそういう意味ではないんです。
Question mark. Oishi-san was the type of person to say things with confidence, but these particular words were less than reassuring.
じゃあ何を疑ってるんですか？
お社様ですよ。
What?
お社様のたたりって本当にあるのかな。なんてまあ。
Okay. Oishi-san's laugh was quite dry, certainly not the kind that would make you want to join in. Oishi-san resumed the conversation about the dubious circumstances behind Satoshi's disappearance. The course of events leading him to delve into Rena's past. Okay, I didn't realise what that sound was at first, and I was really creeped out. But just then there was thunder in the distance, and a heavy rain started pouring down. It came without warning, the downpour fiercely beating the ground. I had left the window in my room open a crack to let the heat out. The violent wind danced into my room, making the curtains flap
どう
wildly.
しました？
あ、いえ、急にすごい雨が。すみません。どうぞ続けてください。
Perfect atmosphere for the story he's about to tell you. I got up while still on the phone and grasped the window.
はじめに事件と申し上げましたが、学校側も被害者も告発していないので正式でですね。この辺りがどうも関係者皆さん口が重いんですよ。被害者の一人は片目に後遺症を残すぐらい殴られているのにもかかわらずです。
Eesh.
学校側か、もしくは表沙汰になるのを望まない何者かがいろいろ根回しをしたのかもしれませんね。
Someone had been beaten? It wasn't just windows?
またカウンセリングを担当した神経科医も職業倫理に厳格な方で。もしもし、前原さん、聞こえてます？
We're distracted by something? Outside? There was a figure of a person standing by the light near the mailbox this whole time. Even in this torrential rain, they didn't have an umbrella. They were unquestionably drenched from head to toe. This shower, which more resembled a waterfall, droplets of water dripped down from her hair. Okay. Just standing there, both arms dangling at her side. In one hand was a stack of boxes wrapped in cloth. Her eyes focused on my room. Focused on me as I was about to close the window. Her mouth was methodically repeating a chewing motion. It was as if she had something hard to chew in her mouth, with her cheeks puffing out. What could she be eating over there? How could it be that at this time I was more enthralled by Rena instead of the shocking developments being brought to light by Oishi-san? If it hadn't started raining, I wouldn't have gone to the window. Then maybe she would have climbed up and gone directly into your room? That would have been creepy. Then I wouldn't have noticed Rena, nor would I have noticed that. Rena's mouth was moving in the same pattern. She wasn't eating something. She was repeating something. What was it? What was she repeating? To me? What was she saying? And why was I right up against the window, fixated on her?
もしもし、前原さん、聞こえてますか？もしもーし。
ごめんなさい。
え、前原さん？
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
もしもし、前原さん、どうしましたか？
Even in this torrential downpour, Rena was still apologizing. The other self inside me drew the curtain hastily with my right hand, blocking my view of the outside. But even doing that, Rena's relentless apology still reached my ears. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If I forgive you for this, will you forgive me for that? Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. I'm sorry. 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 Damn it. Why should I have to forgive her? I'm the one who wants to be forgiven. What part of me can't you forgive? I won't be killed. If you won't forgive me, then I won't forgive you either. I won't forgive. 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 I won't forgive.
前原さん、聞こえてるなら返事をしてください。もしもーし。
And on that note, I hope you've enjoyed being creeped out like I have. I hope you've been creeped out as I have. If you haven't, then I'm disappointed in you. I'm disappointed in me, really. So next time, a split personality and Depth for 7th Mart. Well, I hope you've enjoyed. And, let me know any feedback you have in the comments. Until then, see ya!